In this video, we're going to go deep into the topic of fat loss. This is one of the most talked about health subjects, yet it's also one of the most misunderstood. The reason for that is simple. Almost everything people have been told about how to burn fat is outdated, incomplete, or just flat out wrong. If the mainstream advice actually worked, we wouldn't be seeing the results we see today. Just take a look at the statistics. In the United States, only about 2% of the population ever succeeds in losing fat and maintaining their weight loss results long term. The average woman spends roughly 17 years of her life dieting. Think about that for a moment. If people are spending nearly 2 decades trying to lose weight and still struggling, that clearly tells us the system is broken. It tells us people are following guidance that does not align with how the human body truly works. What I'm going to explain in this video isn't based on trends, opinions, or diet culture. It's based on physiology, how the body actually functions according to science and biology. When you understand how the body uses fuel, fat loss becomes very logical and very predictable. The body runs on fuel, and there are 2 primary fuel sources. The first is fat. The second is sugar. There's technically a third fuel source, which is muscle protein, but I'm not going to focus on that here. The body only breaks down muscle for fuel when someone is extremely ill, starving, or under severe stress. Under normal conditions, your body prefers to use fat or sugar. Now let's talk about sugar first. Sugar is stored in the body in a form called glycogen. Glycogen is stored mainly in the liver and the muscles. Between meals, or when you're not eating, your body can release glycogen into the bloodstream to maintain energy. If glycogen stores are full and more sugar comes in, that excess sugar gets converted into fat and stored. Now let's talk about fat. Fat loss doesn't happen randomly or automatically. It happens through hormones. Certain hormones signal fat cells to release enzymes called hormone-sensitive lipase. These enzymes break down stored fat into smaller components, which eventually get converted into ketones. Ketones are the byproduct of fat metabolism, and they are an extremely efficient fuel source. In fact, ketones are a cleaner and more stable source of energy than sugar. Your muscles can run on ketones very well, and so can your brain. The brain does not require sugar to function. It can function very efficiently on ketones once the body is adapted on the opposite side. There are hormones that promote fat storage. These hormones encourage sugar storage and the conversion of sugar into fat. When these hormones are dominant, fat burning is essentially shut down. Here's the problem. The vast majority of people are burning sugar all day long. They're not burning fat. When they start a diet, they may see the scale drop quickly, but what they're losing is mostly water weight. After that initial drop, they hit a plateau. They assume they're burning fat, but they're not. I can prove this very easily. I use a machine that measures how much fat someone is actually burning. You can clearly see that people lose water weight first, then fat burning stalls. That's because they never switch into fat burning mode. They remain dependent on sugar as their primary fuel source. The big question becomes this. What determines whether your body burns fat or sugar? There is one main control factor. One hormone that dominates this entire process. That hormone is insulin. Insulin is extremely powerful. Even very small amounts of insulin can completely block fat burning. Insulin prevents your body from accessing stored fat. Because sugar triggers insulin, we can simplify things by saying that sugar controls whether you burn fat or not. When insulin levels are high, fat burning is impossible. Your body will run on sugar. Now, some people think that lowering sugar a little bit is enough. They believe in moderation. But this doesn't work. Fat burning is not a gradual process where a little less sugar equals a little more fat burning. Insulin must drop to near zero for fat burning to begin. Only when insulin is low enough can your body start producing ketones. This state is called ketosis. Ketosis is simply the metabolic state where fat becomes the primary fuel source instead of sugar. You may hear negative things about ketosis, often because it's confused with diabetic ketoacidosis, which is a completely different and dangerous condition. Nutritional ketosis, when done correctly, is safe and extremely beneficial. Ketosis improves blood sugar regulation, supports brain health, improves heart markers, and is especially helpful for conditions related to insulin resistance, such as polycystic ovarian syndrome. In many of these conditions, insulin resistance is the root issue. Lowering insulin allows the body to heal. Now, getting into ketosis doesn't usually happen overnight. Burning sugar is easy. All you have to do is eat carbohydrates. But switching your body to burning fat takes time. For some people, it might take several days. For others, it may take a week or two. In some cases, it can take a month or even longer. This process is known as keto adaptation. Your body has spent years, often decades, burning sugar. It becomes inefficient at burning fat. It needs time to rebuild the enzymes and systems required to use fat as fuel. You might see ketones in your urine within a few days, but that doesn't mean full fat adaptation has happened. Many people get discouraged because they expect instant fat loss. They stop too soon. If they simply stayed consistent, the switch would happen. Once your body adapts, fat burning increases dramatically, energy stabilizes, hunger decreases, and many health issues begin to improve. Now let's talk about what you need to eat to get into ketosis. Carbohydrates should make up only about 5 to 10% of your total daily calories. These carbohydrates should come primarily from vegetables. Vegetables provide essential vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients while keeping sugar intake extremely low. Protein should make up about 25% of your calories. This is not a high-protein diet like Atkins. While the body contains protein, a large portion of the body is made of fat. Excess protein can also raise insulin, so balance is important. The majority of your calories, about 65 to 80%, should come from fat. This may sound shocking, but it aligns with how the body is designed to function. These fats should come from healthy sources, not processed or fried foods. Most protein sources naturally contain fat, which supports ketosis. Lean protein alone is not ideal because fat is required to keep insulin low. Traditional populations that consumed very high-fat diets often lived in ketosis and showed very low rates of heart disease. If cholesterol concerns you, remember this. Your body produces about 2,000 milligrams of cholesterol every single day. Cholesterol is essential. It is used to build cell membranes, create hormones, support brain function, and maintain nerve communication. When you eat more cholesterol, your body produces less. When you eat less, your body produces more. The body adapts. Once you are fully adapted to fat burning, even small amounts of sugar could disrupt ketosis. But when you stay consistent, energy improves, endurance increases, and performance goes up. This is why many athletes and medical professionals are now adopting this approach. Now, what's interesting is that this method is the complete opposite of mainstream dietary advice, which often promotes high carbohydrate, low-fat eating. When you understand physiology, it becomes clear why the opposite approach works better. But if you want specific examples of healthy fats, food combinations, and snack ideas, you can download the guide linked below. It explains exactly how to apply this correctly. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.